You can keep talking because I
Okay.
like.
I'm going to do my Asian impersonation.
Uh,
Right.
El Luchador already says no, no, no. Y'all trolling me with this damn icon. Also, why was she dressed like she was going to the prom? Because maybe she was. She was dressed up for everything.
Are we called? Could you at least tell us you're going live?
Welcome everybody to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I'm Eric and I run the bingo.
What? Well, are you just throwing up new stuff again?
If you know, you know.
I don't want to thank Jesus Christ this week because he's allowed me to get injured this week.
Payback from JC.
Lord Manny Hayes.
And I am Marcus, the grand finale, aka Petty LaBelle.
Petty LaBelle. That's pretty good.
It was a name I came up with at work when someone was like, "That's a little petty." I was like, "Well, I'm Petty LaBelle. I don't care."
Marcus, I like that one. That's pretty clever. You can run the bingo with me. How is
not run the bingo? Okay,
I do run the bingo.
Escobar runs the bingo because you don't know what running the bingo is.
You don't either. I got an army of old people ready to answer my call when it goes down, man. I run the bingo. I run the bingo.
Hey, you never even been to a bingo. The bingo is a dangerous place for a young man like yourself or any one of us because they will kill us. Those little ladies are vicious. They got knives.
You are speaking lies. You're speaking lies, Marcus. I have been to a bingo. And I've been to the bingo.
That makes you an old man.
And I survived the bingo. And you're right. I was too young at the bingo. And those people was looking at me. Some of that bingo card punching that them old people got, they got moves for days, man. Moves for days.
Where were you at a bingo?
Don't worry about why I was at a bingo, man. Don't worry about why I was at a bingo. So, gentlemen, how are you guys doing with your week off? You didn't have to go. Manny, I'll start with you. How are you feeling?
I'm broken and I'm high on tramadol.
Hey, I wouldn't want to have you here any other way.
How else can you be here? I'm broken. Is that physically or mentally, Manny?
Physically. You watched me. He told me, "Oh, it's really bright in your room" before you got on the call. And then I was like, "Oh shit, I've left the curtain open." And then watch me with crutches hobble all the way over there to close the curtain.
Now you know what's
happening. He made me feel like a monster.
You know what's happening.
He made me feel like a monster. I just said, "Oh, it's really bright. Manny, it looks like you got your window open. It's really bright. It's cool." I never said he had to close it. I never suggested he should close it. He decided, he said, "Yeah, you're right." Took off his headphones, grabbed his cushions, and proceeded for 1 hour to watch. And I had to watch him limp over there and suffer and scream in agonizing pain. It was horrible.
So translation, Marcus 1 hour was like 1 minute for him to walk over to close the curtain.
It was less than a minute, but it felt like an hour.
But Marcus,
it felt like an hour. It felt long.
How has your week been from the Untitled Manny and Marcus show?
Well, it's been blessed. I got the best sleep of my life for not doing the show on Tuesday. Dynamite was off this week on Wednesday, so I didn't have to worry about that. All I had to do was watch NXT, and my life was in bliss. I was fine,
And your Clippers got to win, so it all works out.
You goddamn right we got to win.
So,
and for all you haters out there, for all the haters that said we're going to lose this series, by God, by George, we're back. My George, we're back. Shout out to the Knicks, by the way,
I just wonder why
they're gonna lose.
I just wonder why, Marcus. Why didn't you thank Jesus Christ? Sound like you had a really good week.
No, it was okay. They lost early.
Not good enough. But somebody that I would like to thank.
It's not good enough to thank Jesus.
Someone
I'm not there yet.
Someone I would like to thank, and it's on the screen. I would like to thank David from Ohio. He sent in a picture of himself wearing the Entitled Manny and Marcus t-shirt in the state of Ohio. We really appreciate you supporting the show by buying the shirt. Also, if you look at the shirt that I'm wearing, it's also available at storefrontier.com/DSPN. It comes in this bright ass blue, a white, and the black. So you can pick yours up and help support the show. And if you send your picture in, you can be posted like David was. Now,
be like Eric. Be the blue meanie.
Yeah, be like Eric, the planet Earth.
Before we start talking about this this busy week, Marcus, JK Smush in the chat room says, "Are you sure the Clippers are the Jets of the NBA?"
Why is there all this hate for the Jets? Leave Jets alone.
Hold on. Randy, you need to come to terms with what I have come to terms with a long time ago. Okay? The Jets and the Clippers are the bottom of the barrel. We're Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Okay? You need to understand that. That's what we are every Tuesday and Thursday. The Untitled Mandy and Marcus show is every time Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose team up together. But just so happen, Manny, I'm Mandy Rose, and we are winning. We are winning with our B triggers.
Marcus, I don't even bring up the Jets, and I get clowned for the Jets. The Jets don't even come up in conversation on this podcast, and yet I still get them mentioned.
They are the Jets. Jets, Jets. Come on, Manny. Come on, Manny. They are who they are, right? You don't even have to think. When I think losing, it's not Washington Generals. It's the New Jersey Nets. Jets, sorry. I mean, New York Nets.
Now, gentlemen, I know we can sit here and we can talk about the Jets and we can talk about the Clippers, but however, there has been a very busy week in the world of professional wrestling. And also on top of that, we know Marcus needs to get his rest so he can go to work. So I don't want to prolong.
I don't need to go to work.
I don't want to prolong the bingo, so we just need to jump in. So much news happened this week, so many things that we could talk about. We can talk about Tom Phillips being let go by WWE. We can talk about Josiah Williams being released again. We can even talk about
Josiah Williams.
We can even talk about Machine Gun Carl Anderson being caught cheating again on his hot Asian wife. There's so many things we can talk about.
She's cool with it now because they were posting pictures together today, so whatever they're going through is bullshit.
But the one thing that we need to talk about, and before we even talk about it, we have some audio of someone talking about it before, and that is TK himself as he's discussing the news that broke by Dave Meltzer. Have a listen.
Fans, it's set to go live on TNT tonight with AEW Dynamite at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. I introduce to you the CEO, the owner, the president of All Elite Wrestling and the Forbidden Door, Mr. Tony Khan.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it, Mr. Schiavone.
And
as we get ready to go live tonight on Dynamite on TNT, I just wanted to address, as the Forbidden Door, I read in The Observer today that New Japan Pro Wrestling apparently has had talks with WWE's president, Nick Khan. Well, Nick, I have to say, if you've been talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2 months, you've gotten a lot done. But just in the last 2 weeks, I've had Yuji Nagata, Ren Narita, and Rocky Romero on AEW.
Who gives a fuck about Rocky Romero?
I've had the New Japan IWGP US champion Jon Moxley defend the title successfully on our show, retaining it. And I have future plans with New Japan Pro Wrestling for the US title. So you must have really gotten a lot done in the 2 months, Nick. In fact, I think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me, it's Tony Khan. It's not some con man from Connecticut.
So
have a fun show tonight, Nick.
So
see you on Dynamite.
Let him finish here. Let him finish.
So at the end of the day, TK to me, he sounded like he got played. Honestly, dude, you can't go in there talking about you got all these people on your show, and then you find out that they're talking to the other company. It's like, you dating this girl, but she knows there's a better man on the side, and she just taking what she can get from you, and then eventually she's gonna go sleep with the dude with all the money.
Well, it's a line of that may be your girl, but she's sucking my dick.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day,
Nick Khan will be like, "Hey Tony, how my dick taste?"
So Manny, I'm gonna go to you first because I know you posted it. Let's talk about the rumored partnership between New Japan Pro Wrestling and WWE. I think it's something that really broke the internet, and it's something I would love to see, but I don't think I would ever see it in my lifetime. Tony Khan, is he just delusional? What the hell is he talking about?
I think he's just salty. I think he's just really salty that New Japan are probably likely to work with the big dog. If New Japan is going to make any dent in the US market, which is what they want to do, a partnership with WWE will push them further than a partnership with AEW.
Marcus, I'm going to turn to you now. Manny said something that's so right. Like, we both know that New Japan and both WWE wants to move into each other's market. The best way for both to do that is to work with each other. Do you see them reaching an agreement with AEW, or were they just using AEW to see if this company was good enough for them to do it?
No, but I'm going to just go with a quick swift no, that this is not happening. For the simple fact, I don't believe these talks are real. You want to know why? I'm going back to the old adage. Who reported this, Eric? Who reported this? Who reported they were talking?
Good old Dave.
Good old Uncle Dave, who I have never trusted in my life with nothing. Nothing. Eric, if he was at the bingo and claimed he hit bingo, I would say challenge. Challenge right away. Because I believe he's lying, and I believe this is a made-up story in which WWE is probably had minor talks with New Japan, but nothing serious. But it did give AEW that push of like, hey, they're working with New Japan, and kind of gives them, it puts some buzz out there. So Khan can cut his promo on Khan because they air on SmackDown. This is a Friday night. It puts some buzz on their night. It puts some Double or Nothing in there. I think the whole story is made up. Maybe there were small talks, but I don't think there's major talks happening.
Even if it was made up, if I'm Nick Khan and I'm hearing that, given that he's got extreme power in WWE now, I'm pushing that deal through. Like, fuck you, Tony, and stomp him like a bug.
And then on top of that,
I will have Cardi B show up in the Tokyo Dome, goddammit.
No, and if Nick Khan is able to accomplish this, whether it's true or not, I mean, it might be one of the biggest moves in professional wrestling since WWE bought WCW. I mean, I think that any wrestling fan out there would be curious to see what would happen if WWE and New Japan did a show together. Absolutely. Personally, I would like it to be treated like the Olympics, not every 4 years, but maybe every 2 years. It'll be a special merger show, like just to make it even feel more special. Maybe every once a year, like 1 year in America, 1 year in Japan. I think it would be so exciting to see John Cena versus Tanahashi. Yes, that's what I said.
That's all I want.
And then Okada versus Randy Orton. I don't need anything else. Don't need anything else.
I think it's also that they want to keep Daniel Bryan under the WWE umbrella. And the only way they can get him to fulfill his dreams of performing in New Japan is to partner with New Japan.
And for that exact reason, we should be grateful to Daniel Bryan. I mean, and probably thank the Bellas too, because who knows? I would love to see.
I'm not thanking the Bellas for any WWE New Japan. I'm not going, thank you, Nikki Bella and Brie. Thank you very much for making this happen. Please, you made my dreams come true.
Marcus, but do you like Tony? Do you like? I mean, we're getting closer and closer to the prophecy being fulfilled, where Tony Khan is going to appear on TV. He keeps doing side things where it's like on Instagram and stuff like that. Do we need Tony Khan to be on Dynamite?
The prophecy is real, Eric. He may not show up on Dynamite, but he may show up on Rampage or Elevation or Dark. I don't care about the Tony Khan. I think this is a stupid promo, but it did what it needed to do, and that was generate buzz for Dynamite that night and for Double or Nothing. It did start like, oh man, he talking shit about the rival company. Where in the actual end of the day, if I was a wrestling fan, and I am, I don't care if New Japan is working with AEW. I don't care if Impact is working with AEW. The real Forbidden Door lives at Vince McMahon's house. And if you are welcome into that house, that is the Forbidden Door. Everybody in wrestling has always worked together, except for the WWE, baby. They work with everybody. And it will be so much more intriguing. And I know every wrestling fan, hate to admit it, they want to see this merger happen as well. It's like watching DC and Marvel say, you know what? Let's get together and do a Batman Wolverine movie. For no reason other than to print money.
Now, Marcus, you're speaking so much truth right here. That is the true forbidden door, because we all know that when you work with WWE, it only means that you're about to be acquired. Look at all the companies that Evolve. They worked with WWE. Now they're under the umbrella. I
don't think they're buying New Japan.
No, they're not going to buy. No, I'm saying they're not going to buy New Japan, but for them to change their ways, to actually want a partnership. And I just love the fact that I know that both companies are trying to get the best from each other, from their market, by working with each other. Hey, WWE, let me work with you. All right. Okay. We get. I'm going to ask Manny, Mark, before you go. Manny, should we keep the lock on the forbidden door, or do we need to see this happen?
I think we need to see it happen. I would like to see New Japan become bigger in globally. I think right now it still feels quite niche, and it's only watched by people that kind of
who watch this show.
Yeah,
well, not even those 7 people.
It's only Marcus that really watches it out of the 3 of us. I only tune into Wrestle Kingdom, and then now I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I would always watch. I would always watch Wrestle Kingdom. You know, I would use Marcus New Japan login, and then I'd be like, "Man, this is an hour and a half. I got to stop this." So I think it could be beneficial for both companies, but like Marcus said, you have to question the validity of this claim, especially when it's the Wrestler Observer who hates WWE. We all know that. Then you have Tony Khan quoting the Observer.
Thank God.
It is what it is. Marcus, you want the closing statement on this? Go ahead. Be the grand finale.
My closing statement is it's not really a statement. It is a question. And it is, without stating the obvious, of the New Japan wrestlers, what matchup would you like to see? And I'll start with Manny. Without stating like obvious was, whatever you can pick out.
I would like to see Zack Sabre Jr. versus Daniel Bryan.
Interesting. Good choice. I like that one. Eric?
So the obvious for me, I'm sorry, I would like to see the Usos versus the Gorilla of Destiny. I think that would be very interesting for me, which would technically be the Bullet Club versus the Bloodline. But, of course, that means Jimmy Uso need to fall in line, and he's really being a hard head right now, which pisses me off. Jimmy need to fall in line. Marcus, what about yourself?
I'm going with strong style match. Sheamus versus either Shingo, Suzuki, or Ishii, the stone-faced split for. I would go Ishii because they may kill each other. They may kill each other. They may hit each other so hard they kill each other for no reason. And I'm all for it.
But I think that the thing about that, though, is that if that show happens, if the merger does take place, this will probably benefit the hardcore fans. I'm not really sure how interested the casual fan would be into it. That's why I think it wouldn't be something that would be done very often. But I think if you did it twice out of the year, where you'll have one show in the States and one show in Japan, it would work out. J.K. Smush says Suzuki versus Orton would be a match he would like to see.
I don't think it's going to be that they do shows together. I think it's just going to be trading of talent occasionally. So like you'd see a few go over there that are not really being used on WWE television that will go over to New Japan, and then subsequently some New Japan talent will come over to WWE.
Hey, it all work. Whatever way it could work out, it'll be interesting. And
have Nakamura go over there and win the G1 for no reason.
And I guess like with WWE, because they have so many different entities, you would have to determine which entity would they go to. Would they go to NXT? Would they go to NXT UK? Would they go to Raw? Would they go to SmackDown? Like, you just don't know where they would go.
Baby, I'm sprinkling a little bit everywhere. Like a little bit everywhere.
Marcus, you need to stop sprinkling it everywhere, man. You need to stop that. That's how you gonna catch a case, Marcus. You're gonna catch a case.
I put a little SmackDown here and there. Maybe wrestling guys go SmackDown.
You let him spray that Saudi oil.
Yeah, my Saudi oil goes all over the place.
So, are you gonna send Mansoor to Japan?
Yeah, I would.
J.K. Smith brought up Orton. JR took up a lot of heat this week, saying that Orton is the best wrestler in the world. Over Kenny Omega or anyone in AEW, given that he's an AEW employee.
But the man spoke truth. Like, we've seen
speak my truth.
We've seen Kenny Omega, and yes, in Kenny Omega's prime, he might have been one of the better in-ring technicians, but we have to admit there's a lot of V triggers. And when it comes to professional wrestling, Randy Orton kind of checks all the boxes. He is that 5-tool wrestler where he can do a little bit of everything. He can be a good guy. He can be a bad guy. He can talk. He can wrestle. He can do a match. I think the problem, people don't realize how great Randy was because so many years Vince had him as a face when he should have been a bad guy, but he made too much money. You couldn't switch him over. Like Randy Orton, I think if you made a draft of who you can have, he would definitely be in the top 5 picks from the companies. Marcus, would you agree with that assessment? Would he be in your top 5? Would he be in your big board like Mel Kiper? Would he be on your big board, Marcus?
I would do some heavy consideration. I mean, he is up there in age. He is 40. But I probably would still take him as one of the cornerstones of the company. He might enter the top 5. But my thing is the sensitivity of every AEW fan and the AEW brass within the company is that if you have any disagreement of what they're saying, they have to come out with some weird backlash of like, this is an opinion. I don't care who JR thinking the best. For all I care, JR could have said Jinder Mahal is the best wrestler in the goddamn world.
And he'd be telling the truth.
He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth. I don't care. Everybody has different opinions of who's the best wrestler in the world. For Chris Jericho to come out and be like, Kenny Omega's the best in the world, and all these people that have to try to back it up. It just backs up everybody's insecurity of if Kenny is their best in the world. I took it and went, that's an interesting choice for Derek, considering he's at AEW. But do I want to go against it? Probably not. I don't mind it. Whether he thinks it's Randy Orton or Roman Reigns, or even if he thought it was Anthony Ogogo. It's his opinion.
Yeah,
I don't even see what the big uproar is.
And shout out to that person on Twitter when they asked the question, what's the best wrestling podcast out there? And they went against the grain and named the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. You showed some big balls by doing that, because you know what? Marcus and Manny do great work on Tuesdays and Thursdays when they're employed, and you guys should really check them out if you want.
When they're employed.
Wait, when you guys are not on vacation. Because if you want an instantaneous response to what is going on in the week in wrestling and not wait for the weekly recap where, we talk about it, because I run the bingo, that's a great place to be. Now, Manny, were you offended by JR's comments, or, did you agree with him?
Manny wasn't offended. What a loaded question.
I wasn't offended. Opinion is opinion. Like, for weeks I've been saying Billy Kay was the number 1 wrestler on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show, and no one could disagree with me because it's our show.
So let me ask you a better question, Manny. Let's say we were doing the draft, which I think one day we need to do the draft. I don't know when we're going to do the draft, but I think we need 2 more people to make it more interesting. Would Kenny Omega be in your top 5 selections if, you had picks in the draft? Like, would he be on your big board?
There may be an argument that he may be number 5. But that depends who's left on the board when I'm picking. Like, my top 5 people, my top 5, first 5 picks. There may be an argument, depending on who's still on the board, he may be a number 5. But there's no way in hell I'm taking him number 1.
Marcus, will he be in your top 5?
Due to the recent activity of the lack of, his character, he is not making my top 5 in draft picks.
Okay, now
there are just too many people, character-wise, who are better than him in various different promotions.
Now, Manny, I'm going to ask you a question. Would you pick Kenny Omega over Scarlett and Karrion Kross?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was trying to gauge where Kenny Omega was on your scale. That's what
Karrion Kross doesn't add up. And there was an interesting tweet on the mid-card mess about Karrion Kross. He's got the Gladiator ring attire. He's got a spooky entrance, which doesn't even go with his attire. And then during his promos, he's wearing suits. I don't even understand where this man's
schizophrenic, man. If you ain't never seen a man have mental health problems, that's what he is. And Scarlett is Scarlett is driving that man crazy. I mean,
next thing I'm wishing him gets the help he needs.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Scarlett has that effect on men. Look how she keep getting William Regal inside that office with just her and him. I'm just letting you know, Scarlett is the issue, but she's also
William got a better office this week.
Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think I would have Kenny in my top 5. He might be considered in the top 10.
Let's just say, like, for instance, there was 5 of us picking. So we had 2 other people to this. And we had 5, and everyone had 5 picks. At that point, whoever's left on the board. So that may be, if you're picking last, that would be the 25th pick, I think. Quick maths. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not gonna check you. I suck at. I stuck
my question.
25th pick overall. He may be still on the board. There probably won't be anyone as that caliber. I would take him at 25.
I can see him in the room just waiting. Like Aaron Rodgers.
He's the guy that's keep dropping.
Kenny Omega is still on the board.
No, I'll let you know if I was.
His character issues are weighing way more.
I'll let you know if I was drafting from the EVP class. Probably the Young Bucks would probably be the first executive VP I would select. The Young Bucks, and that's saying a lot for me.
Cody.
Yeah.
Manny, Cody's my boy, but I'm confident he'll be available at 24. Like it's like
I'm like Cody will go high up, and he'll be that bust you get. Like damn.
If I'm picking ahead of you, I would pick him out of spite and then run him to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, also you would be the type that would pick him and try to make a trade with me later on. Like,
yeah, for more.
You know, honestly, let's just say Cody has.
You gotta take Brandy though too, Manny.
Cody has disappointed me, man. First with the neck tattoo, then with his promo. I mean, like Cody's stock has fell down. I'm just saying.
What is your biggest Cody disappointment? I'll tell you mine. Is yours the neck tattoo?
I think the neck tattoo because it just didn't work for him.
Manny, what's your biggest Cody disappointment?
Actually,
I feel like, do you know how everyone was coming out from the left and right entrances, but Cody has to fucking come out of the middle like he's a fucking king.
No, Marcus, the neck tattoo is not my biggest disappointment about Cody. My biggest disappointment about Cody is that he wrote that stupid ass storyline where he could never challenge for the AEW championship, which when he was like the most marketable person on the show at that time because everybody knew who the fuck he was and he was doing all these outside entities, but he could never hold the AEW title, which made the TNT title more prominent than the AEW title. Do you have any Cody disappointments?
My biggest Cody disappointment is the simple him changing his theme song multiple times to get rid of the original, only to bring it back.
Yeah.
After he realized the Snoop Dogg version isn't working.
No, it wasn't that good.
Like it was trash. When he came out to that, I was like, oh, that's just bad. But you know, Cody has many disappointments. It's just like, oh, this is falling apart. And I wish that we could go back in time and just fix everything that went wrong in the original Cody.
So wait, could another one be that he brought QT Marshall to this company?
So like once again, it's many reasons why Cody could go undrafted whenever we do the draft.
Manny, QT or Brandy segments?
QT.
Which one do you play? Which one are you taking? As in, I want this on my wrestling show. Brandy or QT?
Oh man,
I will put Brandy on it because people can mute Brandy, and you just will be like, "Hey, there it is." You can't do nothing about QT. You can't do nothing about.
You really can't do nothing with QT.
No,
You can't do nothing.
I think that's the quote of the day. You just can't. So since we're already swimming
with that argument, I'm gonna say you guys win. I was gonna say Brandy, but you guys win.
With that, since we're already swimming in the AEW pool, we'll talk about AEW with their show on Friday night. They're the first show with a live audience, and the very first match on Friday night, the match that they wanted to start the show off with was Darby Allin versus Cesar Bonan. Bononi. I don't know what his name, but apparently the announcers was trying to tell me that he's in a faction, looks like with Peter Avalon.
It's a terrible faction.
Dolph Ziggler's brother. Yeah. But at the same time, they had a tagline that they're Vax, Wax, and something else, and I just died laughing at that point.
And they're ready for a hot boy summer.
A hot boy summer. You know, Marcus, I was ready for.
When he went, what the hell does that mean? That was my reaction, but I died laughing.
You know, Marcus, I was getting prepared for hot boy summer, but I have postponed that to 2022, just for the simple reason I ain't really got that effort. But Marcus, the opening match, Darby Allin.
Oh, you ain't waxed. That's what it is.
Darby Allin versus Cesar Bonini. Did you think this was a good match to open up? And I was shocked that the crowd didn't seem as much behind Darby as I thought they would be.
I thought they were behind him. And I thought the crowd seemed to be really, I'm going to say jazzed up just to be there. I saw that fucking Brock Lesnar guy in the front row. He needs to shave. He annoyed me. But I thought it was a solid match to open up with. It wasn't anything. It wasn't meant to be special or anything, but it was showing how beat up Darby was. But it was Body Slam City, which I thought I would never get in 2021, where people are just body slamming the guy over and over. But I actually enjoyed this match for what it was. It was nothing that I was offended by. Sting's a fraud.
So Manny, post-max action, you had Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky come out and try to pull the wool over Darby Allin's eye. The match, what was your opinion on the match? What did you like about the aftermath of the match?
The match was okay. They've had better openers without the crowd, so I was expecting a banger for an opener, which they normally have. I don't even understand the aftermath. I don't know why I need that. I don't know why the guy that looks like a teddy bear had to beat up people as well. I just don't understand this whole thing.
This is the Dark Order save, right?
Yeah.
Can we merge these two segments into one? I don't know if anybody would mind.
I think it all kind of merged. But go ahead, Marcus. What do you want to merge? What do you want to talk about?
Because later on in the night, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky have their tag match with the Dark Order with Evil Uno and stuff, and so they have their match, and it basically ends. A solid match. I enjoyed the match. Solid match. But I didn't enjoy the post-match antics of Sting and Darby with the Sting Army and Sting pulling his mask off. And I was like, what the fuck was this for? And when did he have time to prepare this?
How did he know this was going to go down? He was at the back, let me get the Sting Army. I mean, I just think that I don't understand associating Darby Allin with Sting for the simple reason that Darby Allin was already over without Sting. And it just seems like you're in a lose-lose situation when you have your new entity, Ethan Page, who showed up, and now he's about to lose to Sting more than likely. And the match just doesn't really do anything for me. It doesn't get me excited. It's kind of like the weigh-in. The weigh-in had no purpose, but it took so much time up on the show. They showed the big show. They at the end of the day, what was accomplished with the weigh-in,
so
Marcus?
Hot in Jacksonville. First of all, it seemed so fucking hot in Jacksonville. Everybody was sweating balls the entire night. Whether you were Bischoff or Paul White, who I'm going to call him by his government name now. It just seemed like everybody was hot and sweaty. The weigh-in, it just tried to put more heat on America. And I wish a Go-Go would have said your country was stupid. Just so we can have some common sense in this social storyline that he does hate America. But he didn't even come out and do that. Nothing really was accomplished in this. Cody wanted to strip down in his skippies and run around the ring and thank people for coming out to the show.
His Calvin Kleins, man. His Calvin Kleins.
Clothes out to the crowd.
So Manny, I felt that this segment had the respect that it deserved because shortly after it ended, we got a promo for Stadium Stampede, and then we just went to the back where Powerhouse Hobbs was beating up Christian Cage. We could have really survived without this weigh-in, correct? And did Anthony Ogogo really represent your great country in any kind of way?
No, but I need to ask you the exact same question. Did Cody represent your country well?
Cody doesn't represent my America.
Now, my question is, man, do you have those Union Jack undies like Anthony Ogogo? Just to let you know.
He's going to ask you, do you have some American flag draws, Marcus? It's just one of those things that you don't ask a man what his draws is.
I have a Blue Lives Matter for my draw. The little blue strip. Go ahead, dude. But no, this segment really didn't accomplish. I was expecting violence. You know what I mean? I was expecting a punch or some violence or somebody going down and, a good pull apart. This was basically a glorified contract signing, but they decided to make it a weigh-in. It's the second time they did a Cody weigh-in for wrestling matches that don't matter on weight. Do we need a weigh-in? Let's say Ray Phoenix was fighting who's a big guy in their company? Who's the biggest guy they got?
Boniti.
Or something.
Or Billy Gunn.
Or Murder Hawk. Why would I need to see the weigh in? It's not doing anything. The weigh in made no sense. I was for it unless you did a pull apart. But I think they did already, like 7 pull aparts already in this night. They couldn't do another.
Yeah, and the greatest thing, because, I briefly brought up the Powerhouse Hobbs beating up Christian Cage, and the way that announcers tried to tie together that beatdown was because they're both in the buy-in battle royal. And I'm like, you can't sell me with people having individual feuds beating each other in the back because they're in the battle royal. I hate that dynamic. Surprisingly, AEW had a match on the card.
That was a fight for his life. I felt like somebody almost died. I thought Christian was about to kill Will Hobbs in the back. And that don't say much about Will Hobbs being beat up by a 40-something-year-old man. But I'm just saying.
Speaking of someone being beat up, we had Joey Janela show up on Dynamite in a non-title match, surprisingly. and the thing that surprised me the most...
That's surprising.
Because, hey, Joey Janela only shows up when it's a title match, Marcus.
I keep forgetting he exists.
But the thing that I was even more confused about was that the match that him and Hangman had was perfectly fine, but they were trying to tell me the story that there was dissension between him and Sonny Kiss. And I was like, I don't think anybody even cares that there's dissension. Like, no one knew that they were a team. Like, they made a big deal that Sonny Kiss accompanied Joey Janela to the ring because apparently he walked out. And I was like, do we even care what happens on AEW Dark? Manny, was this like a little bit too much of a storyline for you to try to care about Joey Janela in this match?
But even then, so we still don't know what happened on Dark. They didn't explain it. No, they didn't. They didn't give me a clip of why these two have got dissension. So
yeah,
why should one? If you don't care about it, why should I?
They brought that up, and I went, "That's interesting. Let's see how this plays out in this match." Has no effect in this match.
And then Janela takes Paige to the limit.
Yeah, I'm more offended by that.
Not only did he take him to the
on the AEW rankings, Joey Janela should be at number 1 or 2 for pushing Paige to the limit. Who should have dropped further in the rankings?
Yeah, remember he dropped out of the he fell out the rankings completely. But he was a bloody mess. It led to one of the more awkward segments of the night for me. It's where Taz is commentating and he's like, they're pulling the whole Brian Cage walks out, and Brian Cage walks out, and literally I don't know what he walked out for, because he was easily convinced that he didn't need anybody else by a pretty lackluster speech from Adam Page. Marcus, Brian Cage is not the
I was okay with the segment. I was okay with it. Maybe eventually we get the separation of Brian Cage and Team Taz, because I feel like they were hinting at that at one point, but we never actually went there at all. And I was okay with it. I was okay with the segment.
Do we know how Adam Page got busted open? Because I do not know. Because
it looked pretty deep. So it looked like that Cody cut where Cody somehow cut himself while applying a figure 4.
So, surprisingly, something happened on AEW that I did enjoy, and that was the promo that was cut by Mox and Eddie Kingston. I don't know what it is, but something about ruining somebody's alleged $10,000 pair of shoes and then talking mad shit for a match that they kind of threw together like Ogogo and Rhodes for the AEW tag team titles. I'm actually invested somewhat into this match. Manny, did you like the promo that Mox and Kingston cut?
Nah, man, you just don't do that to shoes, man. You just don't do that to shoes. Even if they are Dior Jordan 1s, you just don't do that to shoes. It was funny, but you just don't do it.
Marcus, I was entertained, as always, by these two. But like you said earlier, for Double or Nothing, which is, Sunday, tomorrow, it does feel like this entire pay-per-view was just thrown together last minute. A lot of the matches just seem to be like, this is on there. Hangman Page versus Brian Cage, that's on the show. And Cody and Go-Go, no real heat there. Triple threat match for the title, whatever. And then this tag match of two people. Like, what happened to the greatest tag team division in the world? Why is the makeshift tag team getting the title shot already?
Because, Marcus, they heard you complain about tag team wrestling on AEW and they need to make a change.
No one cares about tag team wrestling.
But, like, for me, though, I think that the match between the Bucks with Moxley and Kingston is far superior than what the build that they're trying to do for the main event that they're having, that I'm assuming is the main event. Because when you had Pac come out to the ring to discuss what was going on, then he got interrupted by Don Callis, and then Kenny Omega had a failed attempt at jumping him. But then we had to go through the whole Good Brothers, the Lucha Brothers, and then the whole time Pac is laying down in the ring for Orange Cassidy to get into the ring, and he's just laying in the corner. I was like, this is taking too long to get where they needed to get to. And at the end of the day, I don't care who walks out as the AEW champion. Marcus, did you share my sentiment about that segment, or did you feel different about the triple threat match, that the main event that they're building it up?
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, he gonna tell me right now.
Yeah, let me tell you right now. Let me tell you what made this whole segment fall apart. I don't believe they're champion. And I just saw a real champion on SmackDown moments before. Roman sits like a boss. He talks like a boss. He is the boss. He looks like the champion. He's the part. And then Kenny comes out there and he's trying to negotiate with Orange Cassidy. And I'm just like, this ain't no champion. Bobby Lashley with the ladies of Lashley's look more like a champion to you. Oh, I don't even know that. Moose ain't even the champion of Impact, but I consider him champion more than Kenny right now. Every single company, I feel like the champion seems more important than what Kenny's doing. Kenny seems like a joke, and he got beat up by everybody out there and became more of a joke, and I was just so uninvested. And he's going to retain. It's not like these are viable contenders. No one cares about Pac, who wrestles once a month, or no one cares about Orange Cassidy, who's a joke of a character. This is a waste of a time match.
Marcus, I would disagree with that because the fans seemed like they were rarely behind Orange Cassidy, and they loved that moment when he held the AEW title.
They're behind anything. They're behind anything on AEW.
Marcus,
they could have put a fucking apple in a fucking turtleneck suit, and they would have got behind that fucking apple and said he's the best wrestler in the world. They get behind anything.
I need to learn how to.
It could be nothing.
I really need to learn how to mute you so I can have Manny's take on this. Manny, the triple threat match for the AEW Championship. Do you agree with Marcus? An apple holding up the title would have people sell it cheering at the top of their lungs, or was it Orange Cassidy?
No, they loved them some Orange Cassidy, but like people loved them some Zack Ryder once upon a time, and they cheered the hell out for Zack Ryder during a Rock segment. But Zack Ryder was trash. We all know he's trash. Orange Cassidy has a ceiling, and that should not exceed to the AEW World Heavyweight title. That should remain at the TNT title. We all know he draws money. That's the problem. He draws money in merch. He's got an entertaining gimmick. At some point, that's going to wear out with some people. And that's what it is. He's just a gimmick.
Marcus, you seem like you have a closing argument with this.
In the Royal Rumble match, I don't know which one. I don't know what year. I don't even think it may have been a Royal Rumble match. It's been a regular Battle Royal. I don't care. At one point, the crowd was chanting Santino to win the whole fucking thing.
That was the one.
Doesn't mean he should win it.
That was the one when he fell out of the ring and Del Rio won.
But
then everyone forgot that he was still in the ring. That he was still.
Yes.
In hindsight,
crowd went bananas.
In hindsight,
he's a joke of a character. Doesn't mean you should win just because people get behind you.
But in hindsight, based on the trajectory that Del Rio's career went, maybe Santino should have won that Rumble.
No, even to this day, no.
So
no,
Manny,
that's like saying we go back in time and remove Chris Benoit from winning the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'm not taking Rumble victories because you have a Dark Side of the Ring coming up. All right?
So Marcus brought up a great point. He says that Kenny Omega does not carry himself like a champion. Well, someone who does carry themselves like a champion, but is involved in one of these storylines that I just wish AEW would just hurry up and get over with, that is Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was approached by Money Matt Hardy, but then we found out that she is now being managed by Mark Sterling. He booked her a match. It was one of these things where I'm like, man, it took us a long way to get here. But then on top of that, I kind of felt like, shouldn't Jade Cargill be mad that this dude is handing cards out to everybody? Like, he even handed a card to her opponent. Manny, what are we doing with Mark Sterling and Jade Cargill?
I don't know, but I feel like it's going to hold her back. Whatever they're planning on doing is going to hold her back. She should be, but she doesn't need a manager. She's fine on her own.
If you were going to give her a manager, I would have went the route at least of Matt Hardy. Getting this guy felt like negotiations fell through on the manager they actually wanted to get her. Whether they were going after they were usurped and they were going after the $1 Million Man, or they were trying to get Selena Vega, who ended up going back to WWE for whatever reason. Whatever the case is, I feel like it was a failed opportunity of them trying to actually get someone that they didn't get.
You know,
that's what it looks like.
And the thing about it, I also think that AEW sacrificed whoever Miss Killing King, who apparently had a very impressive record when she was running things up at AEW Dark, and they just sacrificed her to Jade Cargill. I mean, you might not can make money with her because she kind of had a Braveheart gimmick, but still, you can't give me stats that she got this impressive record that she got destroyed by Jade Cargill. But I guess
she was Sarah Logan at best.
But Marcus, I guess at the end of the day, AEW can put those numbers up and say that this person's record is this, and I have no way to fact check if that's true or not.
I don't care.
I
don't care.
But Marcus,
I'd be damned if NXT showed me Zeta Ramirez's record. Okay.
Marcus
or Zoe Stark.
So remember how I said that I actually enjoyed Mox and Eddie Kingston? There's something else that I enjoyed. No surprise. I thought Miro destroying Dante Martin was like a caveat to it. But at the end of the day, I thought the interaction between him, Jake the Snake, and Lance Archer might be something I'm a little bit invested in, that I would actually watch Double or Nothing, maybe to see what they do in the ring. Did you like that segment, Marcus?
Yeah, it just felt like another thrown together match in the last minute. Like, I enjoyed the promo last week where he insisted that would die first. This one, I was okay. He was like, leave the old man, Jake the Snake, with some, I guess, speaking Bulgarian, alleged Bulgarian.
He was speaking in tongues, Marcus. He was speaking in tongues. That was not Bulgarian.
Whatever the case may be, I feel like Miro looked like a monster in the match. And, you know, the segment was what it was. It wasn't as good as previous, because I feel like Miro has a streak of, like, I feel like he's found his groove. This one I felt like it was there.
You know, the sad part when I was watching this match, I was like, damn, it sucks that Mr. Martin's brother got hurt, because I felt like Top Flight with the right tutelage could have been something special in AEW, but I don't know where
it would have been Private Party.
Yeah, I don't think they're that as good as they make out to be.
Really? Okay. Miro, Lance Archer, is that something, the Murder Hawk, are you looking forward to this match, or is this just a scapegoat to go someplace else?
It's just a scapegoat. There's nothing on this card that really excites me other than the Stadium Stampede, because I just want it to end. I'm so happy it's going to end.
Well, we're going to be
there. You believe it's going to end, Manny? Do you believe it's going to end?
Gentlemen, we're not there yet, but we're going to end it because we need to talk about...
Thank Jesus Christ.
We need to talk about one more thing. AEW finally decided that it's time to modify their Little Women's Championship belt. They had Sheeta come out dressed like she was getting ready to go to prom to be presented this title. And Britt Baker is the rebel and she shows up. Manny, are we happy that we have a new title, or is it disappointing that a new title is being made, as it looks like that Sheeta is going to probably drop this title?
Why? Yeah, it looks like she's going to have to. She's dropping the title. But why are you giving her a new title just as she's about to have just going into a match?
The logic of giving her the new title was that you've been champion for so long because you barely work. We're going to give you a new title to crown this achievement, which makes absolutely no sense. But it's AEW. Marcus, Sheeta dropping that belt, or is it going to be Britt Baker? DMD.
I feel due to this racism scandal, and I believe a little backlash that they created a new belt for Britt Baker. I feel like Britt Baker's going to lose this match, and I think it's the wrong decision. Britt Baker should be the champion. This is the DMD era, as she said, and you know, she is the face of AEW women's division or AEW, and I respect her as a champion more than I would Kenny, and so I would give her the belt. But I think they may have Cena win this match.
You know,
I think Cena may win.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a tad bit disappointed when she said it's the era, and I really thought she was about to say undisputed, but then she said DMD, and I don't know why. I just wanted to be like, and I would be like, oh,
she's coming out with Roderick Strong now.
So
finish off the face of the air.
So we have Eric Bischoff shows up again for AEW, and it's like the inner circle thing that, of course, Manny and I just can't wait for at the end. And it ended with Dean Malenko being strapped to the goal pole, and the inner circle needed to make the save. And it ended in probably one of the more unsafe looking pile drivers into two tables I've ever seen. That for TV it looked great, but in real life, those guys might not be walking. Manny, did they sell you with that ending to Stadium Stampede?
First of all, Eric, we've got another fraud. His name is Dean Malenko. He's not a man of 1,000 holds. If he had 1,000 holds, he would have been able to stop all 5 of them.
He would have.
Well, Manny, when you get up there in age, he had 1,000, but his age and athleticism. You gotta do some math for that one. He's down to like 7 more holes.
Chris Jericho's not using that excuse. Chris Jericho's not using that excuse.
He was like 60 years old.
Was like 60.
He was 60 when he was challenging for the Cruiserweight title.
So wait, man, you talking about you went to that WCW video, he was wrestling Humberto Guerrero, and you were like, Dean Malenko, how old are you? And Dean Malenko, he looked at me, whispered right here, he's like, I'm 85 years old. Right now.
Dean Malenko was always old. He has always looked old.
He was in his 20s when he was in WCW.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you get these African soccer players, football players that come over, lie about their age. If you look 25-year-old Freddie Adu, oh wait, he's really 42.
Wow.
Or if you can do DeAndre Ayton in the currently one of Phoenix Suns, he's clearly in his 40s. He clearly has mortgages and child support to pay. That's why he plays so hard.
But Marcus, okay, I don't know if Manny ever finished his point about the go-ho because you started him talking about something else. What about you, Marcus? Did you like it ending the way that it ended?
I saw those power drivers look crazy. I was already selling Stadium Stampede, but it was fine. I was okay with it. I hope they break up. I hope Santana and Ortiz get the push they deserve in the tag division. And the rest of them, I don't know what they're going to do without the inner circle.
I'm going to tell you something.
When they got on the mic, because Santana got on the mic, and I was like, he can carry the stick. He's going to be all right.
Yeah.
Swagger got it, and I was like, he's useless by himself, and so is Sammy.
No, but Santana on the mic, I was like, you know what? Santana and Ortiz might be the best thing from the inner circle. I mean, at the end of the day, I think we all want to see the inner circle come to an end. I think I was disappointed that I didn't get to see MJF in front of a live audience because he was kind of out in the back, so I don't know if that was pre-taped or what, but who cares? Marcus and Manny, Double or Nothing takes place this Sunday. I already know that you guys aren't buying it. However, is there any match?
You don't know what I'm doing about money.
How do you know? We could be in the buy-in. We could be the unknown person in the Casino Battle Royale.
Because Manny,
for all you know, I'm going after that chip. Manny
and Marcus, I know things because I run the bingo, and I know you guys are not being in and buying into that. But
hold on, I might watch the buy-in and go, shit, I need to order this pay-per-view right now.
What match do you think have the chance of stealing the show or being the best match of the night, Marcus? That's not Stadium Stampede.
I'm going to go with Hangman Page and Brian Cage.
Okay. Manny, what about yourself?
Unfortunately, I think Kenny's had 2 stinkers of title defenses recently. He may pull it out with this triple threat with Pac and Orange Cassidy.
I'm going to go with the Young Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and John Moxley. For whatever reason, I feel like they're going to do a lot of crazy shit.
No one's going to wrestle in there but the Bucks.
The real question here is, Eric, because me and Marcus are probably going to have to cover this. Well, we will be covering this on Tuesday. Are you going to watch this pay-per-view?
Well, I mean, I do have a Monday off, and shout out to all the soldiers that paid the ultimate sacrifice. It is Memorial Day in our country on Monday, so you know what, AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, pound to those people who paid the ultimate sacrifice. I will have time. I just don't know if I will watch it. I mean, they don't really have many characters that I'm invested in, and I think that's the hard part for me watching AEW. It's like, I like Darby Allin. I didn't like the matchup that they had with the big dude that he was fighting because it just didn't do anything for me, and I don't like him being with Sting. He's going to be the big dude that I don't know his name. And it's just like, they have a lot of stuff going on, but probably the only thing I really care about is Britt Baker versus Sheeta, and I just hope that Britt Baker gets the title, but with the controversy going on, who knows if that was going to happen.
So the guy's been fired, the commentator. Do you think there's any backlash with Thunder Rosa? Because she was clearly laughing during that whole thing, and I don't think it was nervous laughter if you heard it.
Nah, I doubt it. It's easier to fire someone people don't care about.
And I don't think
if they were serious, Thunder Rosa would have got some type of sanction or suspension or something. They have no interest of doing anything to her.
No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's true. People react so quick on the internet. I mean, that's what happened to poor Patrick, whether Patrick is really poor Patrick or not. People.
Eric, I'm starting to get annoyed by this.
About what?
He's not your friend. Stop calling him Patrick.
I can't call him the Dream no more because the Dream is dead. He's Patrick.
You call him Nightmare. Don't call him Patrick. Like your best friends and shit.
I don't know, man. Patrick and I.
He close in person.
Patrick and I, we shared time in a cell. No,
Doing what?
Well, all Eric knows, he could be related to Patrick since his last name is Clark.
There you go, Marcus. Did you guys?
His wife's last name.
Did you guys think that AEW produced a good enough show to maybe distract some people from watching Friday Night SmackDown? I'll start with you first, Marcus.
No, it came on after in all markets.
Oh, it did.
The real competition, is the NBA. The Clippers or the Nets in them will be their real competition.
And I know what you watch, Marcus. You watch the Clipper game. So
absolutely. And why wouldn't I watch Brooklyn lose and the Clippers win? Like, there's no reason for me to watch Dynamite on a Friday night after I watch Friday Night SmackDown.
So Friday Night SmackDown to me might have been my favorite show because of this moment right here, and I'm gonna play it because this man is gold.
So y'all got the match for next week, you and your brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want to do?
Can we relive this? Can we just dubbed over? One of us be the big dog and the other be James. So just.
Why'd you tell me you was with me? What happened? What happened to we? Think about this. Everything that we've been through over these months. All I've ever wanted is the best for you.
That's right.
That's the only thing.
Why is he acting like such a bitch?
It's doing right by you, doing right by our family, and we'll figure it out for your brother, but your main event, Jey Uso now. Think about this. When we go according to my plan,
if he ended it with us, sucked your dick.
What do?
He's such a bitch.
Oh, SmackDown.
He said
as soon as your brother comes back, what happens? You're relegated to the opening match?
This is disappointment. It's not anger. This is disappointment.
That's even worse.
I just don't want you to go back to a place where people look at you
Tell him.
and say, which one are you again?
Oh, shit, he right. I never looked at it that way, Oos.
The thing that was funny about that, you guys hear how dramatic that was? Do you know I actually cut out some of the pauses in it because he actually paused a lot longer when he was letting it sink in to Jey Uso because Jey Uso clearly is slow and he doesn't understand unless you talk very slow to him and make it very thought-provoking.
Do you know what the worst part about that is? I didn't mind when Roman did it. When because it made a point. When Keith Lee does it, just being Keith Lee, I have a serious problem with it.
But Maddie, because we know that Roman is frustrated. Roman is frustrated for the simple reason because Marcus, Jimmy is not falling in line, but Jay keeps following Jimmy, and they keep having success. At the end of the day, I believe that everything that Jimmy said, that if the Usos got the title, they can make claim to the head of the table, and Roman doesn't want that.
Roman is the worst Uncle Phil in the planet. He started the show with them being hyped up about their match. And then he walks in and he asks them, so what's the game plan? The game plan is we win tonight, we beat the Street Profits, we go on, we become number one contender for the tag team titles, we win the tag team titles, and the whole family proud of all of us because we have all to go. And Roman just looks at him and goes, so you got it all figured out. And I'm like, what? That's not that complicated. What do you mean? Where is wrong in anything that's going on here?
Because they would have all the go. That was what was wrong. Roman wants to be the only one with the claim to the title. He is a king. You don't want to have your lessers having titles. It makes sense in the dynamic. This man went and got a jumpsuit made, Marcus. The man went and got a jumpsuit made with his Superman Punch logo on there. That's how serious he is about what he's doing. But
let me tell you my favorite part about this segment, though. When Paul Heyman kind of was on the side, and then he looked over at Paul, and Paul was like, "This is a family discussion. I have to walk out."
Yeah,
and I started laughing like, "Why?"
But let's not take away from what else happened when the Street Profits fought Jimmy and Jey Uso. I think the shit talking in that match was at a whole nother level that made that match more entertaining. I felt that the Street Profits crossed the line when they was saying, especially Montez deserved to get his ass kicked.
Crossed the line big time.
Yeah, he was like,
he made that look.
Yeah. I mean, he might have should have been fired for being racially insensitive, Manny. But let me ask you the question: Did you enjoy the match? Did you enjoy the intensity that they brought? And could we agree that Usos might be one of the best current tag teams in professional wrestling right now?
You can't base this off just one match. They've been gone for a year. You can't base this off just one match.
But they were like a fine machine, man. Nothing seemed like they were off or anything. It was a fun match.
I think Usos will go down as probably one of the best tag teams of all time, along with the New Day in their generation.
And they work well with black people. Apparently, Usos or any black team, they can really work well with each other.
The Usos work well with anyone.
Black. Usos work with anybody. And they weren't good with the Bar. You act like the Bar was not a great tag team.
But at the truth to be told, I knew it was the Bloods versus the Crips. That's what I knew this match was all about. That's why Montez was so hyped up. Marcus, did you like the match?
Oh, man, I thought it was fun, enjoyable. I enjoyed the promos and setup. My big question is, I thought the Usos destroyed James Cole Mario Brothers line with his Mario Brother line of, we're going to put an M and an L in our head and throw bricks on you to get
all the coins. Yeah, like yeah.
And I was like, that's a line right there. That's a line.
Yeah, but you know what?
That hyped me up for the match.
But Marcus,
and then they had the match, and I was just like, this is it.
But you can't disrespect J. Cole because he the one that got everybody else thinking about Mario and Luigi getting coins and stuff like that. So it's like he was the gatekeeper for it. But like I said, I really
the floodgates of Mario puns.
No, I really enjoyed the shit talking that the Street Profits did because, like, once again, we have accepted Angelo Dawkins for who he is, and I know Marcus, you hate him, but he has one of the most punchable faces in the game.
Who replaced him with this damn DJ Matt?
Well, you know.
Oh no, there was a bit in this match I was like, I would have attacked him.
Yeah.
When he was on the apron, just going,
Marcus, clearly you don't follow Dawkins on Instagram because you would kill him too.
I know he's a piece of shit. The way he talked bad about the Clippers.
Yeah, because
he's a piece of shit.
He just keep looking at the score. I mean,
I don't hate the character of Dawkins. I hate the man, Eric. I hate the
man. You just hate him in general. You don't hate the person he portrays on television.
So, I was so hyped up about that match that the match that followed was another tag match, and I don't remember anything that happened, but I just remember I still had a lot of adrenaline, and I gave the second match a lot more credit. That was Natty and Tamina going against the Riot Squad, which was not a bad match, but it wasn't a good match either, but it was a cool-down match.
So my whole thing is this match started in the middle of the commercial break.
Yeah.
The Riot Squad got no entrance. And it's, Natty and Tamina is out and beat up, and we don't know why. We just have to believe what they told us, that the Riot Squad had officially attacked Tamina before the match started. It was not supposed to go down like this. They had a variety of tag team moves that didn't work out, and they lost the match. And I sense a turning. Someone is turning on somebody in the Riot Squad.
Let me live. Eric, you alluded to Roman not wanting the Usos to have tag team gold in the family.
Yes.
Tamina is holding tag team gold in the family. Is Roman going to take her out?
Well, she can't acknowledge her. He can't acknowledge her as long as she's with Natty. Like, as long as the white man has got her under control, it's okay. It's not affecting the family at that point.
Roman doesn't respect those titles because Nia Jax had the titles before her.
Yeah. I mean, he could have fixed titles, man. I mean, the thing is, we shouldn't even respect this title because what we need to talk about is, like, directly after the Usos won the match, they stormed into Adam Pearce's office and somehow got a title shot. But the whole time, Jay...
It was Warzy.
No, but Jay is in the background, and he looks like a man who doesn't want this title shot because he know he's going to get the talking to from Roman Reigns, which it led to. Like, I love the dynamic that this man has been so beaten to compliance that he is terrified while his brother is going crazy. Like, dude, fuck this dude. We could be the man.
What's the dude in Game of Thrones, Theon Greyjoy?
Yeah.
Who got his dick skinned up?
Yeah.
And, that's kind of what Jey Uso is.
Jey Uso is great.
He's been beaten so much. He's beaten so much. He's Theon and beaten so much of this. Even if he thought he had hope of escape or freedom, he still don't believe he's free because Ramses is going to kick his ass on next time he opened that door.
The Street Profits had a hard night, but Bianca got a win over Carmella, which I thought was a good match with Bayley doing commentating to really hype up a part 2 of their match. Manny, was there anything that you liked about the Belair versus Carmella match?
Not really. I think I got to my highest high from the beginning, the opening match, and it was just like I was still coming down from that high.
Okay, I get that. Marcus, what about you? Did you take away anything from there?
Other than the fact that, when Bailey corrected Michael Cole and called him an idiot when he called Blanca Belair. He's like, Blanca! Bianca Belair, you idiot! Threw the headset at him and jumped on the table.
Well, I'm pretty sure you guys...
I enjoyed that moment.
I'm pretty sure you guys got the hype from the tag match. I mean, you guys was probably still cooling down when Seth Rollins came out or Drip Rollins came out, and he pointed out the Cesaro will not be there. I mean, I don't think Seth said anything of any importance, but at least he believed everything that he said, right, Marcus?
It was his birthday. He deserved it. It was his birthday. The man was happy. I don't even know if it's a fact of his birthday.
I like the fact that he was claiming he didn't remember anything that happened last week because he blacked out a little bit, and then and then when he watched the replay, he looked mad at himself a little bit, like, oh.
like you had somebody put a package together for you, but you didn't watch it before you entered. I mean, it is what it is. Then we have the match that I think they even alluded to that shit was going to happen. It was Apollo Crews versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens hit the stutter, and then you see the cheetah, Commander Aziz, run over. He was a cheetah. He moved like a cheetah.
No. There was one big man this week that ran like a cheetah, and that, my friend, is Omos, the quickest big man in the game.
Well, I did not see Monday Night Raw, so I don't know.
He moves so fast.
Well,
who has it?
Aziz delivered the Nigerian nail. It made Kevin Owens unable to breathe, but at the same time, Adam Pearce still granted the man a match next week with Aziz being barred from ringside. Manny, did your high let you accept this match also?
No, I refuse to accept anything with Apollo Crews because that is a fake accent. If I started speaking a broken Filipino accent, people are going to call me a fraud.
You're Filipino, Manny.
That's not the point. You know I speak like this. You know I sound like this. if I started to talk like this and I cannot speak very good English, you would start taking the piss out of me.
Well, Manny, first of all, let's be honest. I didn't find out that you wasn't full Filipino until about 3 weeks ago when you told me I think you were like half Pakistani, right? Am I correct? And so, shit, I didn't know. Hey, I just thought maybe.
Anyway,
I thought Filipino English people just had the strong English accent. I had no idea that you wasn't 100%.
Hold on. Hey, can you pause for a minute?
Okay.
Benny, this show needs views, and I believe Apollo's Nigerian accent gives him the views. And people look at pay more attention to him.
No, I'm not doing it. It's very hard.
I need it on a regular basis.
It's very hard to do that.
So he's trying to tell you channel your inner Manny Pacquiao. Just get it, man.
Yeah, don't be Manny the instant coffee. Don't be Lord Manny Hayes. Be Manny Pacquiao.
no, we can't.
Sing me a song and govern me a country.
Manny Pacquiao cancelled himself when he was asked about gay people, so we can't do that.
So the SmackDown had 2 moments that were useless, but I enjoyed them so much because they just bring entertainment to me. The first one is Baron Corbin going to claim his crown back during the Nakamura-Chad Gable match. First, let me say, Chad Gable might be one of the more underrated wrestlers in WWE. I enjoyed his double belly-to-belly suplex. I also enjoyed the pre-attack by Otis at the beginning. They need to be in the tag team picture. But Rick Boogs...
Again, it's the greatest time to ever be a tag team wrestler.
In WWE.
Right now, any company. You are showing out. They're showing out everywhere.
Rick Boogs saved Nakamura and his superpower from leaving him because he got that crown back, Marcus. Is Rick Boogs paying dividends right now for Nakamura and the rise of Nakamura?
Rick Boogs. And I can't wait to go to SummerSlam, Eric. I know you there too. Me, you, Cardi B, we're all in the same trip. Pick up Trump with the American flag. Going fuck yeah to the Death Star in Vegas. And I tell you, your wife will probably be on the slots, but we will all be happy to watch Rick Boogs play that guitar live.
Out of tune.
You gonna bug it up or not? He may be in tune or not, and that's what's gonna be the thing that carries me in this Nakamura storyline. Because this is the push Nakamura has always deserved, and Rick Boogs is behind it. And if he keeps fucking up with them being off key, they're gonna take it away from him. Dude's playing his heart out, and never knows if they're gonna play his acting. Like, oh, I'll try it again. No. God, shit.
So, Manny, you have to agree. I know you're not the biggest Baron Corbin fan, but this feud has to be one of the most useless but more entertaining feuds going on in WWE right now.
Eric, it's not useless. They are fighting over something that is not a championship, but a crown. A crown is very important in my country.
No, and the greatest thing about this, Adam Pearce could solve this all by just making another King of the Ring tournament. That's all he has to do, and strip Baron Corbin of his crown. But my favorite moment.
Well, I don't feel like Baron Corbin. Wait, you don't just do that to somebody. You're an Olympic gold medalist. I stole your gold medal. You go to the police and I said the only way we can solve this is we just do another tournament. Winner gets your gold. No, I won it already in 1996. You can't take this away from me.
So my other favorite moment is that all of a sudden, I don't know. I've watched Rey Mysterio wrestle numerous times. I have never seen him hit the prayer circle in the back. And he was invoking the name of Jesus Christ. And apparently what it got him was a broken rib. And I enjoyed that so much because Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode came out there and was like, they were trying to win the title like Robert Stonebrand thought they won the title by forfeit. It's like no one's going to come out. And I was just like, I just want to know who jumped Rey Mysterio. Was it really Roode and Ziggler while he was praying? Manny, do you have any answers to what the investigation was going on?
I really wish it was during the prayer circle because that would be insane.
No, because you saw it. Ray was down there praying, and Dominic went over to talk to him. And he was like, "Get away from me."
So at Backlash, when they won the title, as they were going up the rank, they were both going, "God is good. God is good."
They were.
Rey Mysterio. So I really hope that they planned to show the attack next week. I was like they did Dominic, but the Dominic one was a little bit more racist. You don't belong here, boy.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this attack of prayer is that apparently Dominic is a heathen and he don't go to church with his daddy because Ray wanted to pray by himself. Leave me alone, son. I need to pray by myself. Don't come down and pray with me. The God and me have a special relationship that I need to talk to him alone. Okay? I'm not praying for you. I'm praying for me. Okay? Because I'm teaming with you. Okay, you're not very good. Okay, I did all the work last time.
Do you think Ray's praying? Do you think he's praying for his knees not to give out?
But at the end of the day,
son,
I thought
you reach a certain age where you need to pray for your knees.
Mine have gone 1,200 times.
Thank you, Jesus, for these knees.
I've tried everything else, but Jesus Christ protects my knees.
Thank you, Jesus, for these knees.
I mean, at the end of the day, I enjoyed the main event. I thought the main event did what it needed to do because it got us to where we're going to be next week, which I can't wait to tune in because I do not have any idea what's going to happen. I know we're having the Usos versus Ray and his father and his son for the tag team championships, but
he looks like his daddy.
I just don't think that Roman Reigns, after the speech that we heard, will allow this match to take place.
No, I want it to happen, Eric. I want it to happen. Jay gets to they get to the mid-match. Roman's music hits. Jay looks and then jumps off the apron.
Come on, Oos. Come on, Oos.
What you doing, Oos?
What you doing, Oos?
Like,
but yeah, go ahead, Ed.
I was gonna no, because you're gonna talk about the main, so I want you to continue with that because I was gonna say something else.
Okay, I was just gonna say, this is all setting up Hell in a Cell. It has to be Jimmy and Roman at Hell in a Cell. Winner gets Jay Uso. Okay, that's what Jay Uso. It's in the belts.
Marcus, wouldn't it? I mean, because I just don't see Roman getting his hand dirty. Wouldn't he just make Jay fight Jimmy in the Hell in a Cell, which I think would be even more compelling? That if Jay beats Jimmy, then Jimmy is put into servitude. I mean, like
Jimmy's got to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Acknowledge him.
Because I mean, like you, Mark.
I don't know. You go either way with
Mark,
it.
when you have a goon, you usually sacrifice your goon first, and that's what Roman has done. That has been his MO. He doesn't fight the person first. He sent main event Jey Uso to get the person whipped into line, and usually he fails, and then Roman comes in.
First of all,
are you saying first? Yeah. So you're saying they're gonna go Hell in a Cell, basically another I Quit match or acknowledge Roman match. Roman has no match on this pay-per-view, and he just sits there and watch his cousins fight to the death. And the only way it is if one of the Usos basically goes, I acknowledge you, man.
Marcus,
I can't kill my cousin.
At the end of the day, Roman Reigns is such a boss champion, he could do that. That's just the thing about it.
Didn't Jimmy already acknowledge him?
Well, he did to save his brother Jay. But now he ain't nobody's bitch, but I notice he ain't wearing that shirt anymore. This is more complicated than what it should be, and that's what makes it compelling television, because you're trying to figure out what is going to happen, and you have no idea.
All right. So, two things about next week's main event. One, is Steve Harvey the special guest referee, since we're having a family feud affair going on next week? And two, if we were the tag team champion or former tag team champions, and we were to attack Rey Mysterio while he was in his praying circle, is that still the right? Were we right? Should we have done that the first time? Do you think that was what they were doing? Like, damn, we fucked up. We should attack the wrong one. We should have attacked Ray and beat Dominic ass.
Well, so the thing is,
that night we fucked up.
I would love for it to come out that they weren't the ones that attacked Ray. That it was somebody else. Like
Dominic. It was Dominic.
I think at the end of the day, what's going to happen
is... keep Jesus for yourself.
What I think is going to happen is that we're not going to have the Usos win the tag team titles because they have to fight each other or fight Roman. And you're going to find out there was somebody else that attacked Ray in the process. And then that's who they're going to go off and feud with. Like if it was Chad Gable or Otis that attacked Ray while he was at his prayer circle, I'll be okay with that because they're like a good, team to go from there because they're not doing anything with Otis right now or the Alpha Academy. But the thing that was kind of disappointing to me
be Buddy Murphy
this week on SmackDown was that we had no follow-up to Big E and Aleister Black. That was the big ending last week, and no one mentioned anything this week about Big E's health, why Aleister Black did it, and I'm a little disappointed by that. Are you guys okay with it, with the slow burn?
I'm okay with after reading the news report that they intended to keep this off of TV for this week because they wanted to focus on the story of the Usos this week and it didn't fit. So it was a part of their game plan to just take this off for the week and bring it back up next week.
Well,
I appreciate that discipline considering Vince rewrites Raw at least 7,500 times before it airs 5 minutes before the show.
Well, Marcus, if you watch the Friends reunion show, they did that with Friends too. So this ain't nothing new.
During the taping.
Yeah, so this ain't shit new. So people need to back off of Vince's ass when it comes to rewriting shit. But Manny, what about you?
Did you watch the Friends reunion? But did you watch the Friends reunion?
Marcus, I have not watched the Friends reunion, but this is all hearsay, and I have never watched the episode of Friends.
Yeah. How not?
Manny,
I haven't either,
Manny, let me tell you something.
It's on every channel.
Manny,
how do you escape that?
Manny, tell me how. Wait, Marcus, wait. Manny, how many years did it take before a black character appeared on that show when they lived in the heart of New York?
Like 9?
Yeah.
Seasons?
So I'll have about 9 years before I decide to maybe ever watch an episode of Friends. I'm just not gonna do it. It came on the same time black shows came on, so that's why I didn't watch it.
You want to get the strong UPN.
Yeah, we had Homeboys in Outer Space, damn it. Homeboys in Outer Space.
Yeah. It went against I think it went against Martin, right? And it was a ripoff of Living Single. I don't care what anybody says.
At the end of the day, this is what I think of Friends.
You can kiss my grass.
And I ain't used that button in a long time, but we're gonna transition over into NXT. But Manny, did you enjoy your Friends reunion?
No, because I don't like James Corden.
Oh. Wow.
You ruined it? You ruined. Wait a minute. You're a fan of Friends. And the host of the reunion is the person that ruined. Like, I wanted all the friends together. I wanted to see Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox and Joey.
Joey.
I want to see them together. I didn't want to see James Gordon.
James Gordon, since he left the UK for America, has changed, and he's a bitch.
I don't know what he was before he got to America. Was he doing karaoke in England?
No.
Oh.
What was he doing?
America's changed him. America's changed him.
He's all rugged. Imagine him all rugged, smoking on his TV show, drinking a lager.
Manny,
I don't even understand what he's saying, but he's funny.
Manny, America didn't change this man. The money changed the man. Now, fundamentally,
America gave him that money.
Fundamentally, SmackDown was my favorite show because it mixed entertainment and professional wrestling the best. But NXT as a pure wrestling show was probably the better show this week of what I've watched. They started off with a fire match between Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon going against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. And the whole time I'm waiting for Raquel Gonzalez to get frustrated with Dakota Kai because we all know that is the next feud. But apparently Raquel Gonzalez is just like Roman. She wants all the gold, so she actually wants the tag team titles.
Roman doesn't want all the gold. Roman wants his gold. He just wants his.
Marcus, did you like the opening between Ember, Shotzi, Raquel, and Dakota Kai?
I just want to see if you get all the names right. I didn't believe you'd get it. I didn't think you'd get that far. No, I did, and I was just waiting for. See, you're waiting for Raquel to turn on Dakota. I'm waiting for Dakota to turn on Raquel. I have a chair shot to the back of pure jealousy. Your back ain't that great. Bah! Right to the back. Break the chair. That's what I want. That's what I was expecting. It's going to happen eventually because Dakota's costing the matches, but they did get their heat back by throwing people into stuff, and we'll see where this goes.
Manny, I'm going to ask you a completely different question about a different match. Pete Dunne defeated Bobby Fish, so Bobby Fish returned to lose to Pete Dunne. Was the match worth the price that Bobby Fish paid? And on top of that, where was Cool Kyle at to save Bobby Fish?
Cool Kyle does not care about Bobby Fish anymore because they've got their own thing. They're doing their own things now. And you got to also remember, Pete Dunne is the baddest man on the planet. But this match, I didn't care about this match whatsoever.
No, but the funny thing about Manny, I agree with you, Manny, because this was like, I hate to say, Bobby Fish is a jobber, and this was like pretty much Pete Dunne going against Barry Horowitz in a way, because like Bobby Fish was never the dude in the Undisputed Era. He was always there. And it wasn't a bad match, but it was a match I just didn't care about. And then afterwards, Oney Lorcan getting his shots, I still didn't care. Marcus, you might have cared about this match. It seemed like something you would care about.
I fucking cared, man. I fucking cared.
Too much. You cared too much.
Way too much. You know, I never knew this about me, but my favorite wrestler growing up was Bobby Fish. I thought this was Bobby Fish's time to shine. I thought we were in the era of Bobby Fish. Okay, I was ready to fry fish because Bobby Fish was about to wrestle. Okay, and you took that away from me. I fucking care.
I'm sorry, Mark. But something I do care about is Mercedes Martinez, and she's been marked by Tian Sha. Manny,
I care more about this stuff.
Manny, has she been marked to be recruited? Or has she been marked to get her ass kicked? I don't know which one it is.
Eric, that looked like a hate. She looked like she'd been marked as a hoe.
Someone been hoeing.
But I think because I read somewhere, much like how they're building Mansoor up for the Saudi audience, I feel like they're building up Xia Li for the Chinese audience, which John Cena upset last week.
Because he acknowledged Taiwan as a country.
He apologized.
He apologized for it in Mandarin.
Marcus, what about you? Because I had the conversation with you that Tian Sha is like Shang Tsung, and like Mercedes Martinez already dresses like Sub-Zero, so she would be a perfect Sub-Zero for her army of darkness. Marcus, what about you? Were you excited about this?
She needs to join them and join the Boa, and they need another piece in there, and she will fit perfectly in there instead of fighting opposed to him. But I believe she is a pig for slaughter. That's what she was marked as. She was
Did you not see Boa look like a pervert when he saw Mercedes Martinez walk down the corridor, and then he just appears from a door?
Now it's funny Marcus brought up.
He didn't quit that stuff, man.
Now it's funny Marcus brought up pig for slaughter because this is what we're going to talk about, the hit row segment, where you have.
I thought you were going to talk about Alexa Bliss's pig night.
No, I'm not going to talk about Larry Steve. May he rest in peace, man.
Larry.
But this is where we had Hit Row talking like a record label. I can't remember the girl. B-Fab is pointing out everything that they're going to do. You have Top Dollar, he talking. You got Swerve, he talking. But then you have Ashanti Adonis talking. And at the end of the day, I told Marcus, we all know who Ashanti Adonis is. He's going to be the one that loses in Hit Row because no one else is taking pins. Manny, do you agree with that assessment?
I told you already. Top Dollar is a star. A star. He's the nicest man on A&E, and he's a star. You're the best big man in the game. Marcus models his look on him.
So
I do.
Do you want to see
my true inspiration?
Would you want to see Top Dollar versus Bronson Reed for the North American title?
I want to see Top
Dollar.
That's
meat on meat.
I want to see Top Dollar take that title from Karrion Kross, Eric.
Wow. So we'll get to the $1 million face-off, but since I brought up Bronson,
by the way, he did the hillest thing ever on A&E in the commercial I saw with the Jake the Snake Roberts episode.
That's what I sent you.
Yeah, and he wore the Austin 316
in front of Jake the Snake.
And Jake say, on the shirts, huh?
So,
which is also the Forbidden Door opening, because that is clearly a WWE show Jake is on.
That is also true. It is so many things that are taking place on NXT. We finally got our $1 million face-off to be interrupted by LA Knight, who apparently has been chosen by Ted DiBiase. It gave me what I wanted, but at the same time, I didn't get enough. Marcus, the $1 million face-off, what was your impressions?
I felt like Cameron Grimes asked all the right questions. Why are you doing this? This was the number one question. And then Ted, I see you as a son. And I was like, I'm all for this. They go hanging out. And the son always wanted. Ted never amounted to shit. The other one's in jail. I fucking need you, son. And then LA Knight was like, no, that's the man I need to be my son. He's a 40-year-old man. About where Ted's at right now. This is who's my son, LA Knight. I was for it. I'm glad that he found his way and his evil ways, and he's evil Ted DiBiase.
Well, Toni Storm also looked like she was about to sell out to Ted DiBiase in the back.
Everybody has a price. Speaking of someone having a price, Manny, do you condone Ever Rise breaking Indy Hartwell's heart because they told her the room where Dexter Lumis was at, and she walked into all the...
It was Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick told her.
Oh, because he interrupted the Ever Rise podcast. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck Drake Maverick.
Ever Rise ready to hit Indy Hartwell. I was like, you want to take a swing at me?
Wait, is that his whole thing? Then he just goes up to women and want to take a swing at me?
You want to take a swing at me? Huh?
Because being assaulted might create more views for their show. Who knows?
So I watched Ever Rise live this morning.
Really?
It's a tidbit show, and they had to take the show back to the timeshare that they had because of this. And they were really disrespected by what Indy did because the footage you see on NXT isn't the footage they had, in which they were in the middle of really trying to put their show on the map. And they showed their footage of them trying to put it, and all this shit's going on in the background. And it was just like, I can't be doing this. And it was like, we're really disrespected by that.
Marcus, I will ask you now. Frankie Monet made her debut, as you pointed out when we had our conversation, that the dog can't come out. Marcus, minus the dog, can Frankie Monet, with her glam slam, make it in WWE?
Yeah, I think she'll make it on NXT. I feel like everything was fine. She beat Zayna Lemire and made quick work of her. I thought it was a nice debut. That over the top special, but it was nice.
Manny, do you agree with that? Nothing special, but it was good enough to get the job done?
Yeah, I feel like that's someone that could stick around on the Raw roster for all eternity, forget that they're there.
So the question now we'll ask Manny, because Manny knows and he's respected in the UK. Walter was getting his troops in line. Do you agree with Walter letting his boys know that he let them down? We got rid of the dead weight of Alexander Wolf, formerly known as Lester Wolf too. But
yeah, but he also reminded them that they lost their titles to Breezango.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they need to step up too.
But
Walter's right. That's the way a leader should lead.
So at the same time, Walter kind of leads like Roman Reigns. Like you disappointed
at the
me.
Same time, I want to look at Walter and say, my man, when's the last time you defended your title, and when are you gonna do it again? You don't even show up on your own show, ever.
A moment that made me extremely happy, and which is why I've been saying I've been running the bingo all day, is my boy Santos Escobar finally realized that there was no money in the Cruiserweight title. And because he is of Mexican descent, and he saw that there's an Australian holding the North American title, and the North American title represents Mexico and the United States, he needs
Not Canada.
Hey, although Zema Ion, that's Joaquin Wild, told him about Canada, he was like, that didn't matter. I was all for Santos Escobar having the North American title. I think, as I told Marcus, he is my favorite character in NXT right now. My favorite character in NXT, and you can't tell me nothing. And I'm excited.
Cameron Grimes.
Right now, yes, he is because he's running the bingo. Like Cameron Grimes is, yeah.
So here's my thing: you want Bronson Reed after you stood up and clapped for him last week.
I did.
Celebrate all your fat with all your fat, and at one moment, all fat people were united in the world in celebration of him getting that title. We all ate an extra. We all supersized our meal.
We all went and got the BTS meal with the new chili sauce. And can we all supersize? Because Bronson Reed is the North American champion.
I want that Bronson special.
After that, you want him to lose to your boy? What you call it right away? Right off the bat?
Yes. Marcus, I want to put the gold around Santos Escobar. Marcus, Santos Escobar made the Cruiserweight title mean something until Kushida came and messed things up. But he needed to move on anyway. The guy can talk. He comes out with great interests and stuff like that. I think he is one of the brightest stars that WWE has, and he's having a slow climb to the top. Bronson Reed is perfectly fine where he's at. He can hold the gold for a while, but Marcus Escobar runs the bingo. And you know he runs the bingo. So he needs that title for his Mexican people. Manny, do you have any investment in this, or you want the big guy to keep the title?
The big guy needs to keep that title for a bit. Big guys need love too.
Let the big man keep his title, all right? Fat people need love too. And this is the only thing we got. All right, this is all we got right now.
And then after him, I want Top Dollar to have that title. I don't want no skinny man. No one under 205 should be holding this title.
You know, he is now that I'm thinking about it, he is the only fat man champion in the game right now.
Well, the only person, last time we had a fat champion, he disappeared off the face of the earth. Okay? We don't know what happened to him. Maybe he's trying to finish his sentence. He really got stuck in finishing a sentence somewhere, and we can't find out where he's at.
Who was that fat man? Because I can't remember.
Keith Lee!
Oh, fuck. He's reading a bedtime story to a child someplace. And it's like,
Let me. I'm stuck on a word here, guys.
So,
he just stayed stuck. He never got out of it.
Another thing that made me excited, because, you know, I have now seen the way, is that William Regal announced that next week is going to be a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the title. So once again, as I talked about someone dropping their title, moving on to greater and greener pastures, that is Johnny Gargano. I'm putting all bets down on Johnny Gargano to beat Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly to go and save us from the atrocity known as Karrion Kross, because Karrion Kross was the atrocity. Although Karrion Kross and Finn Balor had an okay match, he is still not my champion, and I don't acknowledge him. Manny, will Johnny Gargano lead us the way of getting rid of Karrion Kross?
He'll win the match next week. He won't go the whole way and take that title off Karrion. Unfortunately,
I think he has to take it off Karrion. I think he's going to take it off Karrion.
I think we got to send Karrion to the main roster to get him off of NXT.
We gotta shake it up. Is this the end of Finn Balor on NXT? Then he going back up? Did
you read the report that Monday Night Raw wants him back for some reason, but people are like, we can't let Vince have him again.
They need him back. Raw has nothing.
Do you think?
But then again, when he goes to Raw, what's he gonna do?
Like what
he gonna do really?
What does
beat up Bobby Lashley?
What does Finn really bring to Raw? Like, I don't think you want him to be the U.S. champion.
No, I believe he'd have to go to the main title at this point.
Can I ask a question?
I believe you don't bring him back just to go mid-card it and fight Humberto Carrillo.
I have a very important question for you guys, because I know you guys are connoisseurs of professional wrestling, and I know you took off this week. However, did anybody watch the 2 out of 3 fall match between Mustafa Ali and Ricochet?
No.
Or main event? I'm just curious. Marcus, you look like you might have watched it. Marcus, who was your overall impression of that match?
So I didn't. Maybe I'm late, and I put it on the Peacock, and I might be on the wrong episode. But it was the end of it was the rubber match they were trying to have, right? They were doing this, and it ended in a double count out.
For a 2 out of 3 fall match? That don't sound right.
I feel like this is the wrong match. And I was like, oh, hey, this is solid doing. And they both crashed to the ring. I was like, it's a double count out. So I don't know what happened here. But I did want to see it.
Mark, I appreciate the effort that you put it in, man. You put in that effort, and that's all we can ask. And
hey, if we're going to talk about obscure wrestling, let's talk about NXT UK, where 2 weeks ago,
Tyler
lost
to Tyler B.
Yeah, they had the Heritage Cup match.
Well, unfortunately, we ran out of time for that, and you know, we ran out of time because Marcus needs to be able to go to bed.
No one cares.
Marcus needs to go to bed. If you guys want to hear about NXT UK, you can always tune into the Untitled Betty and Marcus show where they discuss that.
About it there either, damn it.
But if you guys want to talk about something with us, you can.
What happened on Thursday? Because AEW's on Friday again.
Oh, so you guys just tune into Saturday to get all the reaction from Friday Night Dynamite.
Or, Manny, we could just do a Thursday show and talk about Raw and NXT.
And take Tuesday off?
We space Raw and take Tuesday off and space Raw out.
Or we could just not talk about Raw.
I'm all about taking off Tuesday, damn it. Take off Tuesday.
AEW Double or Nothing.
Man, you know, your pillow looked like a Blue Lives Matter flag in the back. I don't know why.
What?
Your pillow,
you're talking about the one way back there.
This white pillow, it looked like a blue. I don't know. Yeah. Man, is there something that we need to know about you, Mr. Disrespect the Filipino people with your accent?
No. Once again, I'm on drugs right now, Eric. I don't remember what I said 2 minutes ago.
If you guys want to call Manny out,
he gonna wipe the footage and be like, "Oh."
If you guys want to call Manny out for his disrespect of the Filipino people, you can always send an email to the Sharpshooters at gmail.com. That's DA@Sharpshooters@gmail. It's on the screen right now, so you can see it. So if you can't understand what I'm saying, you can see it when you watch the video. Also, we would really appreciate if you would like this show. Hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification. I'm pretty sure that most of you who are watching this show are not subscribed to this channel, but we need you to subscribe where we create and push out more and more content every day. Although the end of the month of May, these two gentlemen took the day off, but we really appreciate all the hard work they put into the show. Now, Marcus, I'll turn to you. Do you have any closing arguments that you would like to make before we wrap this show up?
I only have one.
You gonna thank Jesus for your knees?
I'm gonna say maybe Jesus Christ isn't the safest person to fuck with now that Manny has been thanking Jesus every week, and
he didn't thank him this week.
And we had Rey Mysterio, who almost lost his titles but did lose a rib this week as well. So I'm saying I'm gonna take a week off of prayer just because of that, and spend that time watching NXT UK. Okay? Which most people need to do, for God's sakes. It's a good product. It's a good product. No one gives a damn.
Manny, do you have anything to leave with?
Yeah. I'm currently on Tramadol. I don't remember most things I do. So there will be no Tuesday show. Unless you want to do one. Do you want to do Raw?
Nobody wants to do Raw.
Oh, no, I do want to cover Double or Nothing if something happens.
Yeah,
I feel like they can fuck up their ending again.
we'll do Raw and Double or Nothing on Tuesday. And then...
Oh, it's so hard.
Just do it on Thursday.
Or we just do a Monday show and do Double or Nothing.
Oh, we can do special things. If I decide to watch Double or Nothing, I could be on the Monday show.
Well, you can take my spot. Because you know how hard it's gonna be hard for me to do that show. Okay, I got problems. All right.
Do you know what?
You got meetings to go to.
I will point out that I might need to find me some drugs if I gotta fill in for you, because that means I gotta watch the whole episode in detail. I just can't pick and choose one match. But
that's what I do.
This ain't the running review show.
No, it's like I gotta watch the whole show. Shit.
Can't be no chump on the street. You gonna have to. You know what I mean.
And also, guys,
handle with the steel, if you know what I mean.
I'll give some scheduling. in 2 weeks, there will be no Saturday show because we're going to go and investigate what's really going down in Las Vegas and see who is following all the mandates for COVID vaccination and whatnot. So we're going to be on the streets investigating things. Also, at
one point, I think in Vegas we need to have us with a microphone holding outside the Death Star, the Allegiant Stadium. I'm ready to say, yeah, this is where they're holding SummerSlam. And just have somebody walk up with my motherfucking money. And he got the camera off.
Also, I'm going to be on Switch Pro Watch. At any moment, they're going to announce the Switch Pro. I don't know when it's going to...
Are you okay?
Huh?
I sound like you're on suicide watch.
Well, the thing is, I feel like this is going to be a lot harder to get than the PS5 was. And so, and I think I would prefer my Switch Pro over the PS5 because that's still back there not being played. I should go
collecting dust.
I should go start my road to the show.
Know what's getting played? Not your PS5. You played yourself. Okay? You played yourself by buying it.
Nah, man, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter has been my life force, hunting these monsters.
Is that PS5?
No, it's a Switch.
Exactly. You played yourself. Shouldn't have got the PS5. There are people stabbing each other for these PS5s, killing each other. You just casually got one and didn't play it.
I like a motherfucker try to come and stab me.
You don't even play it. And you're not even the only person I know that doesn't play it. I know 3 people that have PS5s, they don't even play it.
You know why? Because it came out too early because they have no games to play. And like the Xbox Series 1X, no one is playing that either except for the Game Pass that they have on there. And Manny has that with his old Xbox. Game Pass is pretty much...
I mean Xbox Series X.
It's a new Xbox.
I've never seen nobody go, I got the new Xbox.
Because no one did.
I will, but I won't announce it. Okay. I won't leave it in shot like I'm flexing.
All right.
First of all,
we're approaching 2 hours on the show. What's our next film we're reviewing? And Eric, have you seen Army of the Dead yet?
I plan on watching that today because I'm tired.
How have you not watched that yet? You said you were going to do it last week.
I was in trial. I had to deal with bloody knives and stuff like that. I had no time. I actually, believe it or not, had to go to work and work. I was upset the entire week that I had to work. And Manny, I know how you feel when you have to work. The only person that really works all the time is probably Marcus. So it was a shot to my ego that I could not do what I wanted to do at work. And then on top of that, I have been mulling over the idea if I was going to buy me an iPad Pro. And then, reading the reports, at the end of the day, I might not get the iPad Pro. And
I'm just going to say this. A little mini review. Batista's daughter in that film is a piece of shit.
Oh, wow. There it is. Yeah. That is. And there's a zombie tiger.
Yeah.
That's what everybody keeps talking about. The zombie tiger.
There's a pregnant zombie in the movie, Eric.
Well, if she got bit by a zombie while she was pregnant, it makes sense.
Nope.
That shit was blue and then it turned red.
oh, I don't need the zombie childbirth. I don't need that in my life. But I look forward to watching that.
No, it's more of an abortion.
And everybody, this will be the last week I'm sitting in this chair to record this show. I'm very excited. My chair is finally coming. It's been a long wait. I'm happy. And then
I think when you get the new chair, you should have the Game of Thrones song sitting on as you sit on your new throne.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, man, this shit hurts. Because
sometimes
it's uncomfortable. This isn't
what I want.
or Mark's though. Well, I gotta buy me something else because this one didn't fit the bill.
Yeah, I gotta buy me a $700 pillow to go with this chair. What is the point of this chair?
Mark, I don't think there's a $700 pillow, and I think on that note we might.
Oh, I know there is. I know there's
luxury. There is, and you know about
luxury pillow game. Yes. Yeah, I've seen that $700 pillow in which it whispers to you sweet nothings as you go to sleep.
I want to point out we all have weaknesses, and I will point out that a $700 pillow is not my weakness. It's just not. It never have and it never will be.
It'd be the $600 one when it's discounted.
Which is on sale.
Now, you give my ass a 10% discount. It's a totally different story. But you guys,
what do you mean $100 off of this pillow? Shit, I have to go.
I survived another meeting. That should have been the email. I hope you got.
This ain't a meeting.
This was a meeting. We just recorded live.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'm Eric, and I've ran this bingo.
I'm Prince Manish, and I'm walking off this show. I can't move.
You can't walk. You know, and I almost said,
don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, God.
You know,
humanity.
You know, the worst part about it, because, you know, when he said he was Prince Manish, he's walking off the show, I almost said, where you can't even walk. I bet he almost got welcome to the club real quick. And who are you?
I'm Marcus the grand finale. I'm going to leave the show and pray alone. Because you guys aren't welcome to my prayers. Can you guys leave? Please.
Marcus, I will come over and break a rib.
Oh, don't Anthony and go me.
Why are you praying like that?
I don't question how you pray, Manny. Okay?
Why are you praying with spirit fingers?
I like to bring it in.
Oh my God! If you made it to the end of this video, and see,
it in.
You know what? Hold on.
Look at him, he's feeling the power.
If you made it to the end of the show,
Praise Jesus.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next week, stay sharp.
Amen.